We are back and we are better than ever because this is the first episode with my new microphone. So the audio quality is ideally going to be better. We will see if it is better. If you cannot hear me, that is an issue. So please make sure to tell me that you can't hear me. But we are going to be discussing a lot of things today, a lot about success, a lot about progress, and what it is we need to be doing in order to just start to see the success that we want. Because I was recently speaking to an individual and they were telling me how they have so many priorities, so many things that are going on in their life. And guess what? They're actually priorities. They're real things. They're a family. They're his work. He has a full-time job in a pretty big industry where he needs to be full-time. And he has kids and he has parents that are getting older. And he has like so many things that are going on. And what was interesting is that he wanted to be able to start working on this new project. He wanted to be able to take on something else. And he just like, my plate is so full. Where do I even start? And he was telling me, it was interesting enough that what he needs to do is he just needs to be able to break down the timing of everything and really just get himself organized. He considers himself a pretty organized person, but he wants to be able to work on his specific goal, understanding it's not going to happen overnight. He's going to need to put in hours, like maybe hundreds of hours, into the thing that he wants to be doing, but he still wants to be able to take advantage of it. So how is it that he can start to do it? And it can be such a powerful tool. So we are going to be talking about different techniques and different strategies that we're going to be speaking about, and I'm going to be working with him on specifically to be able to help you be able to prioritize everything that's going on in your life, because your life is busy. There's going to be so many things that are going to be happening, and we need to try to figure out for ourselves, what is it we can start to do to be able to just set ourselves up for that success? Because there is a life that you want to be living. And the question is like, why aren't we living that life yet? What are the things that are draining us and sucking the time out of our life to be able to say, hey, you know what? It's time. I want to be able to do this thing. I want to be able to take advantage of the work that I want to be doing. I want to be able to take advantage of the lifestyle, the opportunities that I have in my life, and I want to be able to do them now. So let me ask ourselves these questions about what is it we can start to do. And the first thing we need to do, and this is extremely important, the first thing we need to do is we need to get clear in terms of what it is we actually want. And this is something that happens for so many people. And this is where they get so stuck. This is probably where most people get stuck. 90% of people, maybe like 80% of people get stuck, is that they don't know what they want. They don't know which direction they're going in. They know they want something. They know they want something more. They might be, they want something different, but they don't know which direction they want. And because of that, they end up just procrastinating. They end up moving themselves and they start getting on this hamster wheel of life. But guess what? They're not moving anywhere. They're constantly taking action and they're doing certain things. But guess what? They're not taking the right action. They're not being able to put themselves in positions where they can start to see that success. And what we need to try to figure out for ourselves is, what is it we can start to do to be able to take the appropriate action to get to the place that we want to get to? Because everyone has the ability to take any action they want in order to be able to move forward in any specific direction. The question is it the direction we want to be going in? And once we understand that, once we have that ability, then we can start to really understand, hey, these are the things that are going on in my life. These are the places that I keep getting tripped up on. These are the places that I need to be focusing more on. Because once we do that, then we can start to really take the action that we want. So ask yourselves, what is it that I'm doing? Am I clear with what I want? I'm not happy with my job. I want to switch my job. Okay, that's great. But like, what does that mean? You're not happy with your salary. You're not happy with your coworkers. Do you like your job? You just don't like the people. You like the people. You don't like your job. What is it that you want? Do you want a totally different industry? Are there things about your industry that you do like? And getting clear on these things can be really, really helpful and directional. Most people want somebody to tell them. They want somebody to say, hey, this is what you should be doing, because it's a lot easier. We don't have to take responsibility. We don't have to take the action. But what we want to try to do is we want to be able to say to ourselves, hey, you know what? It would be easier this way, but I'm going to be doing it this way because this is what I'm going to become. I'm going to become somebody who can start to pick and become more decisive and to be able to be more directional with the life that I want to be living. Because once we start to do that, once we have that ability, then everything else changes. Then we have this opportunity to move forward. We have the ability to start to say to ourselves, hey, you know what? I can be doing X, Y, and Z. What is it that I want to be doing? And by doing that, then we have the thing that we can do best. We can start to take the steps forward with what it is we want to be doing. And whether that's going to be certain steps that we do know or don't know, it's going to be the thing that we're going to have to start with. Because once we figure that out, then we can start to be more directional with all the other decisions that we're going to need to be making. And once we also realize that there are certain things that are going to be happening. So let's say it's now, okay, now I'm very clear with what I want. I want to be able to, I don't know, pick something simple like learning guitar. I want to be able to learn guitar. And I know that's my new thing that I want. I knew I wanted to try something new. I didn't know what it was. And now I know it's like playing guitar, which is like silly when it comes to like massive things in our lives that might be a little bit more important than playing guitar. But let's say we're playing guitar for argument's sake. And now I want to be able to try to learn guitar. So a lot of times people get stuck there because they're like, I'm going to put so much time into actually becoming good at learning guitar. But what we have to do is we have to get clear with how much time it's going to actually take us. And if we can start to understand, hey, you know what? I have this ability to learn and to try to figure out, hey, how much time is it going to take me to get better? Number one is you can start to ask people. Number two is we could start practicing and try to figure out, okay, it took me, I don't know, you ended up YouTubing it and you try to figure out one chord and then you learn like a very easy chord and it took you, to get really, really comfortable with it. It took you 3 weeks to practice and you practice for like 20 minutes a day. So guess what? So now you have some math that you can start to say, hey, every chord is going to take me this amount of time. And hopefully over time, you're going to get even better, but we'll be conservative about that. Because once we could start to understand it, then we have this ability to say, hey, it's actually not going to take me as long as I thought. It might only take me 6 months as opposed to taking me 6 years. And that is something that could be really beneficial when it comes to what is we want to be doing. So ask yourself, how much time is it going to take? And not just time, but what's the financial going to be, right? We're going to need to make an investment. What is that investment going to look like? How is it we are going to be able to move and really take advantage of what it is that we want? And by doing that, we can start to ask ourselves what is really going on here. And that is something that would be so extremely powerful when it comes to the work that we want to be doing and how it is we need to be able to move forward. So ask yourself, what is it I want to get clear on? How much time is it going to take me? How much financial investment is it going to take me? And then we have this ability to be able to move forward. The next thing we want to be doing is we want to be able to not just understand the direction, but try to break down the actual goals that we're going to be setting for ourselves. Really, literally breaking down day by day, what is that you want to be doing? So now you know it's going to take you 6 months. So let's reverse engineer it, which is a beautiful way to really set our goals for ourselves. Is we start with the end in mind and we work backwards to where we are today. Because what's interesting is we have this ability where whenever we have to get something done, and maybe this happens to you, and I think it's called the Pareto principle. Um, but I think I'm wrong. Where you are so for